Be another one of them little off the wall videos. I don't have a lot of mechanical stuff to do. I mean, we're still building stuff. We're still doing some stuff. So I posted a video a while back about a race fuel maker. So what we're going to do, we're going to make a bigger one. It's a 100 quart. Can you guys see? 100 quart aluminum stock pot. 4 millimeter thick. And it's got rivets. They're hammered. I'm hoping that they're leak proof. I'm pretty sure they are. But I don't have just one. I've got two. So 100 quarts, I googled it. It says this is a 25 gallon pot. So if I take this pot right here, let's see. Okay, let me stick you down for a second. So if I take and put two of them together, what does that give me? My math's correct. That's 25 gallon. Or 25 plus 25, my bad, it's 50 gallon. Nah, it's not completely round like, you know, like each one. So, you know, what we're going to do is we're going to drill into one, because we'll have to anyways. So let me get this one down. This is the one we're going to drill through. Put this one here. Let's move this one out the way. I still haven't done nothing to the shed at all. So what I did is I bought this stuff here a while back. You guys remember, for the gauges on the motor here, for the motor stand to drill in. Well, I don't have one big enough. I have a cheap one here. It's a 4-incher. So I went up here to my local like Ace Hardware. I bought this kit, man. I mean, it's kind of expensive, but I went up there and I tried to use the adapters right here to thread into here to make this a hole saw work with this cutter and this tip and stuff. I went up there today and I was trying to figure out, because I thought I lost these, but here's what I found. They're adapter nuts for the snap-on, or snap lock anyways, not snap-on. But so it's all like quick release stuff here. So this quick release releases the drill bit out of the center, if I can get it. So then it goes back in, and then this goes on. It snaps, go on. It snaps on and locks in. So that's cool. We need that. And I'm going to do a 4-inch hole. I would have liked to have been bigger, but I don't have anything bigger than 4 inches to make a true 4-inch hole. I'm using this one here because it's the clean side, clean one. I want the clean on top. Yeah, that's black. I did make some, use this before on my old still that was like that. I filled it up with water and I put that still in there. Instead of having the still run on direct heat, I had it ran through that, where the water was all the way around it, you know, all the way up to about that far. And I have a lid that I cut out and I stuck over to keep the heat inside. And doing it that way is supposed to be a way to get better brandy, you know, and plus it keeps you from scorching anything. If you're heating it with water, how are you going to scorch anything? I did try to make my mom some tea one time. I threw the tea bags in the pot without no dang water in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to drill a hole in that. Oh, let me tell you where I got these at. I bought these off of a website called webstore.com, whatever, something like that. I bought these a few years back, I don't know, about 3 years ago. Now I think they're about $90 a pot. That's kind of expensive. You figure that's $200 right there. And then you got to realize, then you got to buy the thing for your hole up here. I may just make a small aluminum cap, copper cap. I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get there. This is just going to be building this part of the steel. I hate calling it a steel because it makes me feel like I'm doing something illegal, but as long as I don't cook nothing off, I can build whatever I want. As long as I don't cook nothing and sell it, then I'm all good. So, and I'm not cooking anything. I don't have anything to cook. I will make a mash, show y'all how, kind of some cheap mashes. I can't put it in these stills and run it. It's totally against the law. What basically I'll do is, all my stuff's going to be kind of a fruit, so it'll be a wine. And it's legal to make wine. You can buy all the ingredients right at Friar Tuck here in town to make wine. So that part I'm not too worried about. I can have all the wine I want as long as I don't put no fire underneath these. I'm completely legal. And the last thing I want is to be in any type of trouble. So first off, what we're going to do, we're going to drill this hole in here. And it's pretty much already got a center mark because it was the way it was made. And then on the other one down at the bottom, we'll put us a little spout in the end. We'll drill us a hole, probably an inch and a half hole. And we'll, that's an 1 3/8, but we'll figure it out. We may even just do 3/4 or something. And we just got to make sure that we can seal it off, get us a spout so this thing's fit, full of 50 gallon of liquid. How you gonna get it out of there? So we're gonna put one of them in there. Everybody's wondering, hey, you can't cook moonshine off with an aluminum steel. That's poisonous. Let me tell you something. It's a stock pot. They cook food in them, and you eat that food. So what's the difference if you eat it or drink it? Nothing. So, yeah. And I've seen where old timers have had aluminum pots, aluminum made stuff. Like old tanks that were made out of aluminum. They made china out of them. Maybe that's why they didn't live very long. But yeah, so we got us a little. You can kind of see it. There's a little mark right there. That's kind of, I'm going to assume that's center. You can see it's how it's swirled out. I would assume that's center. Yeah, it's made in China. Best thing to do, I'd be scoping your local marketplace and try to find some big, some decent sized aluminum stock pots. And hopefully you can find a pair of them that are just the same identical ones. And I guess try to do what I'm going to attempt to do. I've never done it. I don't claim to know what I'm doing on this. So here's what I got. It says needs no flux, made in the USA, low working temperatures, working temperature of 130 degrees. I brought a battery for my infrared thing, my little temp gun, so we'll be able to measure our temp, a little bit. 40,000 psi. I don't think moonshine gets that high psi wise when you're cooking it. So it's non-corrosive and stronger than parent metal. Aluminum weld will join most aluminum alloys. Hold on, let me pull this thing out of here and we can read it. Come on up out of there. I don't know how I'm supposed to get that out of there, but now I've had this stuff here too for a long time, and this is what I actually bought it for, to do this. And this has been 3, 4, 5 years ago. It even got instructions. Ain't that cool? Will join most aluminum alloys, zinc based alloys, pot metal, and white metal. Joints made with aluminum are permanent, non-corrosive, and stronger than parent metals. I'll try to take a picture of this and stick it in there so you guys can kind of read it. But I bought it off the old internet. I seen this stuff advertised I don't know how long ago, 3-4 years ago. So I bought it. That's what I did, and it was for this project. I did see some research that it's best, to make sure you clean this real good, and your metal too, just like a regular weld. But you want to wipe this stuff down with some Scotch-Brite real good too. Try to get it clean. So what I'm gonna do, while you guys are off getting a sody or cold beer, I'm gonna drill that top hole. I'll probably mess it up, but what do I do? I mean, there's nothing I can do. I've got to figure out what I'm gonna do for this. I may try to make some type of cap, maybe, or we'll figure it out when we get to that point. It'll probably be in a different video. It's probably gonna be a 2-3-parter. So let me get this drilled in there. All right, we got our hole drilled in it. So she's kind of small, but I think we'll be all right. We're gonna clean this. I've been kind of at it with the file a little bit. I think I'm gonna go get my I might go get my little air angle die grinder with the little Scotch lock disc, if I got any disc, which, look, that thing fell off up there the last time we was out here working, and I still ain't picked it up either. I'm pretty sure I had some of them roll lock things, but I probably don't. Oh, there they are right there. So yeah, let me go get my grinder or my thing out of my other toolbox, and we'll that's what I'll use. All right, I got it ground down, cleaned right here, and on the inside I left a little gap. I don't know if I'm supposed to or not, but that's what I'm gonna do. See what these instructions say to do. I took that roll off, cleaned the lip of there and right here. Well, it don't say nothing about it. Not like I really read a whole bunch of it, but I guess there ain't nothing to do but to do it. I'm gonna start here. I got it strapped down, obviously you guys can see. Got it strapped down. I got this point here is where I'm gonna start. Maybe we can get a little close, a little bit better gap there. And I'll get you guys on the stand. I still got to clean up my rod here, and then I got the gun over here it's cold in here. We're starting out about 52 degrees. Thing up there says 55, my heater, but with that thing pointing at it saying 300 and some degrees is what's blowing out, but it sure ain't got there yet. So let me get you guys on the stand, bring you over here, and we'll start on this side. We'll get a little bit tacked on here, and we'll go around and tack it, because like we got a big gap here. I put a little tack, get a little closer, and go all the way around. And then I got to try to get everything even. So you can tell, it's high over here on this side. So I want to try to work my way around so everything stays somewhat even looking. So I'm gonna get you on the stand and bring you back then. All right, well, got you guys in somewhat position there. I hope my straps don't melt. They are kind of close. I gotta heat this thing all up pretty good because it's cold. I want to start right here with my tack. Start right here with my tack because it's, hell, actually it's closed up a little bit. There we go. Dang it. My MAP gas can's not really helping me out any. 71. We still got 600 degrees to go. See the aluminum is expanding because it's getting my gap keeps closing up on me. Take a little while. I should have my acetylene torch. That probably would have melted it. You gotta get up to 700 degrees. I think it said 750 degrees or something like that. Working temperature 730 degrees. Once I get a few tacks done, then I can just start going all the way around. $230. You guys probably don't want to stay here and watch this get heated up, but you guys probably miss something and be like, man, I want to see that. See my aluminum closed, my gap closed up again. I don't know why, but they don't seem to be heating up real good. Probably because the metal's cold anyways. I'll bring it back in a little bit. Alright, I'm trying this. I can never get it up to 700 some degrees. The metal up that hot, so I just started rubbing this stuff on there. We're just gonna see what's up. Kind of shoved it in the crack there a little bit. Alright, I'm gonna reposition it and see what's up. See if that holds any. I've never used this stuff, so I don't know how it's supposed to work or anything. So, and a pan, things are hot though. If this don't work, then we'll have to go get some acetylene. It's stuck, but how well? It don't look like it's stuck too well. Come on. Alright, we're gonna just keep working our way around. I think this metal here is not hot enough for it to work on it. Change hands, because I ain't right left-handed. Side over there. Yep, see, that shit ain't working. Alright, well, that ain't gonna work. So I guess I'm gonna have to, I probably shouldn't have tugged on it yet. I don't know. Hello, fillets. I was really hoping that stuff would work. Maybe I just didn't have a big enough gap. I don't know. It's hard to do anything, man. Let me try a little bit more off camera here, and we'll see what happens. If not, I'm gonna have to go get some acetylene for my torch, because this ain't getting hot enough to melt into this aluminum. Alright, I'm just laying it to it. I'm trying to do like a stitch weld, basically, kind of. The only problem is when I get down to here, a big gap. Yeah, it's all lumped up. But I think it's holding. I'm not gonna give it a try yet till she seems to be holding. I can go back and file off or sand down all this stuff here, and I'll go back over it again one more time once I sand everything down. But it's hot. This side's cold. She flexed a little bit, so what do we do? What do we know, huh? We're just gonna keep running it. I ain't got very much of this stuff left, so we'll have to see if we can't find more too. We go to the other side. That's my kid's mom. Hold on, y'all. Alright, well, it is getting to be a pain trying to do this with this stuff. I stood it up, maybe it'll help me. Got a ledge right there, so I'm trying to get it to help me. You guys are in the way a little bit. That big glob right there, it was going running downhill on me. I'll have to come back. I'll have to sand that down and come back to that. Yeah, look at it running downhill. I don't know. I don't think this really going to work out that great. It was worth the shot, I guess. Yeah, it's not working out so good. Hot. And then this side we got I don't know. Ooh, hot. God, that's hot. Let me flare down. Because she's wanting to run off that way. She's holding once she cools off, though. She's holding real tight. gonna go ahead and weld on this while I'll bring you guys back. Well, I'm gonna call that an epic fail. Well, it's kind of a fail. It sucks. I didn't get this nowhere near close enough, but look at this lumpy mess of stuff. And then it come apart over here. But I'm gonna tell you what, watch this. It worked. It did work over here. It stopped working right about here. Look at that right here. You can see I'm squeezing. I'm trying to pull it apart. You can see the gap stretching. It worked. It did work. So, and I'm out of that stuff. And my MAP gas thing started. What happened over here was the MAP gas. See how it's not blowing out like. See how it gets real. At first it's, and then it kind of dies down. So it got cold on me. It just wouldn't heat up enough. So, I guess, reading some more of that. I guess what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some acetylene. That way I can tack this how I want it. I'm gonna grind a bunch of this. I'm gonna grind a bunch of this off here and leave like right here where it's nice and even. And I've got to figure out what to do. Cause see, I thought I was gonna be able to go around and tack, but it took so long to heat up one spot. I'd have been here 6 months trying to heat up a bunch of little spots to tack around. So I'm gonna have to get some acetylene and get my torch. I'm pretty sure I have a brazing tip in my torch kit. That's probably what I'll do. I'll probably head out and get a bottle of that, and then we'll try again tomorrow. That's the last piece I got, a little piece right there of that. So, I don't know. I just don't know yet. But I'm going to tear this thing back apart. And we're going to have to figure out how to get this a little more straighter from where I weld it and stuff. Because now that that's on there, it won't. This side over the metal was hotter than this side. That's why it stuck so good here, not here. I mean, it's on there, man. Let's see. It's on there. Look at that. That's where. But right here, it's. Now this piece ain't really stuck. There she goes. And that's where you can tell my stuff was heating, wasn't heating so good. But right there, she's stuck, boys. Yeah, that stuff did work. Hopefully Tractor Supply's got something like that. But I'm gonna run and get some acetylene. So we'll finish up. We'll work on this tomorrow. Kind of sucks, but hey, lesson learned. It does work with the right heat. That stuff's pretty cool. It's kind of like TIG, man, but it was so hard to do it because I couldn't get nothing hot enough to actually run a bead. I'd have to come back. But like right in here was fairly decent. It worked pretty decent. I was able to put my arm on here and actually rest my arms, but then it got too hot. So we'll pick back up on this tomorrow. Alright, we're back. Got a decent one today. It's nothing really mechanical, but we're building something. Yesterday I was out here and I worked on this thing, making you guys a video, and it didn't turn out alright, too well. Anyways, here's what we got. It's a 100 quart aluminum stock pot, 2 of them. We're gonna weld them together. I started yesterday. That's where, so you can see the weld. That's kind of funky, all messed up. Decent down there, and then right in here, my MAP gas started messing up where it wasn't staying hot enough. The pressure and let's see here. It was messing up inside of here where it wasn't letting out the gas right. So I went ahead and got some oxygen or some acetylene yesterday for this. We're gonna try that, and I also bought a real like I wouldn't say real brazing set, but it's comes with MAP gas and the torch tip with the oxygen with it too. So my problem was being able to keep this thing warm and go around and tack weld it. So I was fighting trying to keep it together. So maybe I was able to strap it yesterday after all the stuff going on here. So we got a little stuff to finagle and try to get straighter because it's not sitting exactly flush. Not that it really matters too much, but I had this stuff yesterday I bought years ago for this. I've had these for a couple years, but it's just some Lumi weld rods. But so these are 2 pots, and 100 quarts would be 25 gallons. I googled it. It said 25 gallons. So welding these 2 together, that gives me a 50-gallon moonshine steel. So I also have a pressure cooker. We are going to attempt to take this pressure cooker. I gotta figure out how to get them handles off there. They're just screwed in right there and right there, and we'll have to figure out how to get that. But I'll take everything out of here. We'll cut this. We're going to cut this off right around this circle here. As you can see, I cut a little circle in there. Figure out I'll do a little ferrule, 4-inch ferrule. Well, I'm going to use this, and that will give us a cap. This will be welded, and as you can see, there's a rubber O-ring gasket in there, so that will seal that up. So then we'll have us a cap basically, and it's going to be all aluminum. Steel. Yeah, I know. You can't use aluminum. It'll make you go blind. It'll kill you. Well, here's the thing. It's a stock pot. They cook food in these. A lot of your pots in your house are aluminum, and you eat out of them. You cook food in them, you eat in them. So whether you ingest it by drinking it or eating it, you're ingesting it. So, and you know, some of the old timers used aluminum to make their stills. So this is what we're going to do. I paid $90. Well, I didn't pay $90. I paid I don't remember how much I paid because it was so long ago. It was over 3 years ago when I bought these. And as you can tell, this one's dirty. I ran one of them, my other steel, inside of this and used hot water to run my steel. It worked. It didn't scorch it. Didn't have to worry about it scorching. Was able to run it, you know, right at 170, 175, a good 180, somewhere around there. Is, you know, water turns to steam at like 212. So your safe zone is, you know, like 175 to 185, I would give or take. You know, I was able to run it a little bit hotter because I didn't have to worry about scorching it. And it ran, you know, run a little faster. Just had to add more water to cool the worm down. So this is what we're building today. I've got to go and clean this mess up that I did. But what I want to do first is I want to tack here. And this stuff holds. It does hold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my grinder and I'm going to grind down this seam. And I'm going to tack right here. But for it to hold, it's got to cool back down to like 50 to 60 degrees, 60, 70 degrees. So it's got to cool back down before it will actually hold. And once it's actually stronger than a parent metal. Yep, I said the parent metal. But I went and bought some U.S. Forge self-fluxing aluminum. So we're going to try to use that. I bought some Hobart stuff also. 70 degrees. It says V edges to 45 degrees. And this don't really say, but I'm going to cut them out. I'm going to grind them out. Give us a little lip in there. Help bond them together. Now I'm going to try to go across, zipper across that to help hold it. And as I work around, I'll get everything a little straighter. That's not like it's going to be perfect though. So that's where we're at. That's what we're going to do. We'll get you guys up on a stand and we'll see. This is going to be, I don't know if I'll have enough time to get to this today. I was watching Musty One this morning before I come out here. I had to get that one in. He's doing a motor on a Bobcat, so I had to see that. That way it gives me some ideas on what to do with the John Deere out here. So I'm gonna get you guys set up and we're going to get this cleaned up, and then I'll bring you when I start to heat this stuff up. I gotta hook all the hoses up and all that, and I'm sure you guys don't want to see that, so we'll see in a bit. So I hate to do this to you guys. You guys are gonna be on the stand quite a bit today, so won't be much walking around and doing all that. I want to heat this up, preheat everything real good first. It took a lot of heat yesterday to get this thing to stick, and it's only 60 degrees in here, 65, whatever. Where'd that heat gun go? There she is. And you got to get this metal up to 700 degrees. And that way, ooh, yeah, see, look, it's up. It's starting to melt itself. Let's, see it starting to melt itself. I've never brazed aluminum, so just whatever I did yesterday. Yeah, she's going a lot better than what she did yesterday. Hopefully that stuff stays. Yeah, she's hot. So that was kind of a success there. It's ugly because you can tell it starts to run down. I got some holes in there to fill up. Pretty sure I have a stainless steel wire brush around here. I gotta clean that. I'll clean that up. Once I get all the way around, I'll probably go back around it again and scrape everything. Go back around it one time. We're gonna roll that over. Maybe get probably get right here. If we can get it rolled over. I'm sure she'll fall. So, what am I using? I'm using this stuff. I'm using this US Forge stuff here. They say you're supposed to clean that rod off, but who knows? But I'm gonna try to tack this up right here. And then we'll try to get everything a little straighter. Turn that down a little bit. I bet you if I turned that fire down a little bit, she'd be you know what I didn't do? I didn't grind in there. Let me grind in that. That was probably a little loud for you guys, wasn't it? You might just, this might be a lot faster than what it was yesterday for sure. Today, I was out here about 3 hours trying to weld that, and I only had that little spot. Let me change hands here, fellas. crack. Yeah, she's cracking and like popping, and she's separating right in here. But she's sealed up there. Let's try some of this stuff. See if we can't do a little bit better job. Dang it. Yeah, she ain't holding. Oh, she ain't holding. Ah, dang it. Yeah, she's cracked all the way down that thing. Ah. Probably got that metal so hot up there that once it shrunk up and cooling off, it probably cracked that stuff, pulled it apart. Yeah, she's a little ugly, but I think she's holding. see any cracks in that. I'm able to control the heat a little better. Alright. Should have known that acetylene was going to be too hot. That's hot. Ooh, my hand's numb. My right hand goes numb on me. Let's go check this other side. Look at all that stuff down here on the floor. There you go, right down there. Oh, I just heard it popping. She's cooling. She might be cooling just way too fast. She didn't crack over here. So, yeah, I'm just getting it too hot, going too fast. So I think we're going to be good. I'll work on this a little bit. Basically, all it is sticking two pots together. Of course, these are aluminum, so it's going to be hard. I don't know. We'll bring it back when I get a little bit more done. Basically, you know, like I was saying, it's two pots welded together. When we get to the cap, that'll be kind of a thing to see, you know, like watch and see, check that out. That might be something a little interesting. But there ain't much interesting in the aluminum brazing. I ain't never done it before, so don't go with what I'm saying. Everything I usually do, it's something I'm just trying out. I'm practicing, or I shouldn't even say practicing, I'm just kind of doing it, learning it. I don't even think I'm learning right. So, I know it's holding. We'll keep it that way. And if she don't hold, we'll come back and do it again. We'll keep going until it does hold. So, on that note, I'll bring you back when we get this kind of pretty much all welded up. And we'll go from there. We'll get this, bring you back when we definitely do this cap, because I've never done it. Now let's do it together. We'll figure out. Well, it did not go according as planned. You see it's cracked. There's some spots from here to right there cracked. And some cracking up in here. Really nice welded right there though. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's, that part welded really nice. There's a lip right there, but I didn't get it real squared. What happened was I ran out of propane, or not propane, but oxygen for the brazing torch. So I had to go back over to the oxyacetylene. And it used it fast. I mean fast. But what I'm gonna go and cut them cracks out again. Wherever all these cracks are at, I'm gonna cut them out. We'll weld them back up, and then I'll go over everything one more time, get it all still together, and make sure she's good. See, look at that crack. All the way there. See it? Not even stuck right there. That oxyacetylene heated up too much, and then it would shrink. So that's what would happen. It'd shrink too fast. That stuff would break off, or crack, I mean. Where'd that go? to get more oxygen, I guess. Man, that sucks. It's cracked all the way to there, man. It was that much. This part here is welded real nice, man. But I don't know. But yeah, we'll that's what I'm gonna do. Well, I changed my mind. I'm not going to go to Menards today. I'll do that next day or two. You guys will have to just wait till next video to see where we're at on this thing. I had a couple videos or a couple pictures I took on the phone, but let me put this thing on there so you guys can kind of see my idea. That's a pressure cooker, and then we'll cut us a hole in there, and we'll set the pot on top of it like that, and we'll cut all this off here, and then we'll cut a hole that big, and then we'll weld them two together, and all that will be wide open. Then our cap will sit on there just like a regular, like steel, aluminum or copper steel. Gotta make sure I keep them screws because that's what holds them handles on. And these black handles gotta go back on there because that's what seals them all. It seals the lid. The screws go all the way through. Actually, they sit below the seal, so that should be fine. Yeah, it should be fine like that. Then we'll see. But I'm not gonna. Yeah, I might be able to take these off there and leave them off. But yeah, it's nasty. I gotta clean it up. But I'll just drill a hole in there, just like I did on the lid, and run us a little spout out, just like we did on there. Stick it in here, and then we'll have our have a full steel again. Well, we got one already, but I'm a big steel. All right, y'all have a good one. Alright, it's a nice beautiful day out today. Wasn't really going to do much but clean the garage, but I couldn't pass up this nice beautiful day. We're going to be working on the thing here a little bit. I ordered a gasket for it, but it hasn't come in. I'm just drilling holes right around here. I'm going to bolt it to this tank, and then I'll be able to remove it if I need to. I haven't water tested it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's sealed. There wasn't very many pinholes down there. So what I did is I just drilled me a hole, so that's a good starting point. And I kind of measured around to see what equaled out the best, and right around 4 inches, and equaled out 4. So just first guess I went with was 4 inches, and it worked, so that's what I went with. Oh, I got 2 holes left to do. I'll probably have to go to the hardware store and see what they got. Somebody say something on there, comment about the thing gonna explode. Well, if you look in that hole there, let's see if I can get you over here. See how thick that aluminum is right there? It's gonna take a lot to get it to explode. This tank is just a little bit thinner than that, so I mean it's pretty thick. pretty strong. So we'll talk about that in just a second on that. So I bought some gasket material. It's about 1/8 inch thick, and it was I thought for sure I ordered a 12 by 12, and it's actually 9 by 9, or was an 8 by 8 piece. And between bolt holes about 9 inches. So I need a 12 by 12, and then I can cut my circle, and then cut my inner circle out. Ow, that hurt. But what I was getting ready to say about the old exploding situation. The only time these really have any pressure under them is when it's hooked up to a dump keg, to a thumper. Because if it's just no thumper, the steam will just come straight out the tube and straight down and out, and it down through the worm. There's no blockage, no nothing like that, so it's absolutely no pressure under it. So if I plan on running a thumper, so there will be some pressure, but it's not. The more water you have in your thumper, or whatever you put in your flavoring or whatever, you know, say I run this much in the thump versus this much. This much will take a lot more pressure to push the steam out. Down there won't be as much pressure. So you know, like if I was to run this as my thumper and only fill it up to here, pressure won't be as high. But if I move it up to here, that water pressure is going to be pretty hard, or the pressure inside there, you know, to get the force the steam to bubble through the stuff in the mat or the thump keg. That's when it'll be under a lot of pressure. So I don't really run a whole lot in the bottom of them. Oh wait, I've never ran a keg before, so we're gonna, man, I hurt, slice my finger on something. I need to file these down. I just had that file there, it went. You guys are probably sitting crooked, ain't you? Yeah, let's get you straightened up here. Don't really have much going on because I gotta figure out what I'm gonna use for the gasket. I do have stainless steel nuts and bolts, so there will be the stainless steel for the nuts and bolts. Baby tapes here this weekend, so we ain't gonna be doing a whole lot. Plus it's nice out. I want to kind of clean the garage out a little bit. I want to be able to get my motorcycle out of here and put in the other shed so I can get this place cleaned up, get this floor over there done. So we'll try to center that the best we can. Bolt holes look like they're sitting pretty flush down there with the bottom of this thing. And as I tighten that, that should flex enough. This is the gasket for the lid. You see right here, once it starts to build pressure, then this thing will fold out and lock it. Let's get on there. Let's see. Come on. So the lid's tight. I might get a new one of them gaskets. They sell them all day long at the hardware store. So for canning, so that these seals are replaceable. I got a thing for. I do have a thermostat. Come on. I do have a thermostat that fits in there. This, I'll probably pop that out, put a nut and bolt in there, stainless nut and bolt. This, I'm going to cut this out more. I'm going to fit a 2-inch bulkhead tri-clamp fitting in there. And then I'm going to run bigger copper, but I'm still going to use it's not going to be this one, but it's going to be the other one. But so basically this will be down here. It won't go through all the way through the thing yet, but this is for a dumper side. So where is that piece? There it is. So this piece will be on there like that. There. And obviously we're gonna get a different size adapter here. We'll probably, I think this may be 1 inch, 2 inch to 1 inch. It might be 3/4 though. It's probably 3/4. But we'll probably go with 1 inch. We'll come out, down, up, and over into the thump keg, and into this one. So I'll probably just do the 3/4. That way I don't have to buy 2 of these fittings. Just do the 3/4. 3/4 is a little cheaper. I'll run a 3/4 all the way down out through this. And we'll just do it just like that. And then that'll be in the thumper. So that's how that's going to look. That there is pretty nifty. I get that bulkhead fitting on here. Everything will, and it bolts to it, so I don't have to do no welding. It's just stuff that I've got to order it. So let me get this kind of a little more in there. I'll get a tape measure and kind of go around roughly, get this centered up, and then I'll punch my holes in there, and then we'll cut the bottom of the pan out, the cooker out. So let me get them holes marked, and we'll go from there. Alright, I got them drilled in there. I mean, we will cut this, but I want to get the bottom of this thing cut out first. Obviously there's going to be needing a lot of cleaning, but so this is what I got. What these are battery cable, stainless. So, and they're square headed. I ain't sure how many of these I need. I got these for free, so hopefully they fit through the holes I drilled. Yeah, they fit. lined up again. Uh-oh, guess what I should have did? I should have marked out what orientation that goes on there. Well, I didn't think about that. Pretty sure my handles were that way, weren't they? Well, that ain't it. Yeah, buddy. I didn't think about my holes being offset from the other ones. So I'll have to make sure I mark that. Wow. Well, let me fumble with this and figure out which way it went on there. Alright, I got them in there. We'll put some big washers on the bottom of them when I bring them up. I got lock nuts, bolts, or nuts, I mean, lock washers and some nuts. So, they're all stainless. I'll get stainless washers, so when I cut all this out, I'll be able to put them on through the hole up here. So, I don't know how I got wasn't the straightest holes, so, but with the rubber washer, or rubber gasket on there, and the washers on the inside, I may dab a little silicone around on the washers to make sure I get a good seal. So you can see bolt sticking through there on that one. You can see them through all of them. So the inside will have to be sealed up a little better. But I'll probably get like a copper washer, like for when you do brakes, them washers like that, and we'll stick on there and I'll seal them up. So dab a little silicone. I'm gonna cut the hole out on the bottom of this and trace it and cut it out on through the tank. Ain't real sure how I want to cut it yet either, though. No idea. I may just use the air grinder. I think the air grinder might be better. Well, let me get to cutting. Alright, we're back. It's a week later. Went to the hardware store to get stuff to try to seal this thing up, and they didn't have it, so I had to order it. It took a week to come in, so we're at where we left off. I gotta finish cutting this out, and then cut this out, and then as you can see, I draw the arrow though, so I know where the thing goes back on at. So let's see, I think that arrow spot's over here somewhere, right there, so I know which way it goes on. I'm gonna cut this out, cut the other one out. Here's what I bought for a gasket material. There's the thing for the top of the lid. I'll take a thing of this. It's like a red silicone sheet, heat. I got birds in here, man. Freaking birds. I walked in here this morning, there was 2 of them there, one of them back in here. I think they're getting in up over there. But as long as they ain't pooping everywhere. Yep, look, there's a spot on my bike. So they're gonna have to vacate the premises. But this stuff's supposed to be rated at a couple 100 degrees, made in China. This is the one I bought originally, and it wasn't the right size. And this is what we're going to use for gaskets around the bolt holes. I bought stainless steel washers for the inside, and then the copper ones, smaller ones, because they got to fit, you know, inside. And there will also be rubber on the inside. Look at that, that's a perfect hole, man. 5/16. So I'm gonna work on getting that cut out and bring it back when we get it in there to the mountainer together. And then she's a wobbly. What I'll do is I'll tip it over and tap on the bottom and straighten that out a little bit. And plus there's a bunch of stuff on the floor. I still ain't cleaned up in here. I gotta get it done. It looks horrible. I've got some side work coming in. It's going to be for golf carts. There was a guy supposed to show up today with a golf cart and a tractor, but I ain't heard from him, so he probably not going to come. He'll get blacklisted. He'll get put on there where I won't never work on none of his stuff ever again. So I'm gonna get busy. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, made a little progress here. I just kind of stuck that between the pan and this. Drew the inner circle. Marked the circle so it sits back on the way I marked it. And then I just felt there and just drilled a hole with the drill. Now I'm taking the washers. I'm marking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, need 7 of them. These are big stainless ones that's going to go on the inside. So yeah, I got to cut them out. All I did was just sewed them with a Sharpie, and then took the drill bit and just drilled them out. So that's where we're at on that. I'm gonna finish up doing cutting them out, and stuff cuts real easy with some scissors. Of course, I got the stuff all dirty. It's real easy to cut the stuff out. A lot easier to cut than what I thought it was going to be. These are just little kids, elementary school scissors. Oh, there's one. And then we'll have to do some smaller ones for the copper washers, for the tops, or for the inside of the lid, basically. I'm sure you guys don't want to watch me go back to school and learn how to cut out my shapes again, so I'll get all these cut up and we'll stick this together. I'll finish this one and we'll reset and start when I'm further along. Alright, I got that stuff cut. I had to take my kid. She wanted to go to Dollar General and get some Elmer's glue to make some slime with. See, there's my little pieces. I still have this whole thing left over. I was able to cut that out of the center of that. So we're gonna get this thing figured out here. I gotta get this place swept back up, cleaned up again. I know I say it all the time, and I don't do it. I gotta get that out. It's almost riding season. So gotta go and get it oil change. I don't know if I want to. I don't really want to change the oil myself. I need to get some bigger bars on it too. But I'll get you guys set up so we can see a little bit what's going on. So what I want to do is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. Alright, we'll get 2 of these ready, 2 of these bolts. That's a tight fit. Perfect. Okay. So we're gonna big washer. Rubber. Up to this rubber. And we'll find our arrow right there. Alright. Ooh, that's gonna be kind of hard. Oh wow. Yeah, she's gonna be hard to get my arms in there. I might end up having to lay it down. Oh, it's just a little bit taller too. No short people jokes, really. Seriously. Come on. Yeah. Okay. There's one. So you guys get the gist of what I'm doing here. Oh, big fender washer. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this ain't gonna leak. Ow. Piece of aluminum I didn't get cleaned up. go and screw that washer on, or that rubber thing on there. I was gonna put lock nuts on here, or lock washers, but I can't. Ain't got enough room. But I don't think there's gonna be any vibration or anything to. My let's see. Me and Baby Tape went to breakfast this morning. Had a decent little breakfast. But yeah, that's funny. Buddy of mine, he thought it said something about birthday, because he replied happy birthday on there. I said, man, ain't nobody's birthday yet. He said, I'm just saying it early in case I forget. I don't know where he thought it was my birthday, her birthday, or what, but it's kind of funny. Well, I'm gonna struggle with this and fight through it, and bring guys back along, man. When I start on the lid, it's all pretty much, you know. I mean, I don't think anybody's ever gonna build one like this. So, I mean, it's not really a whole lot to learn or anything. I don't know what I'm doing either. I mean, this is just me doing it. Just had an idea in my head. This is what I ran with. Come on, get on there. If I get that washer on there far enough, then I can kind of screw it on there like a bolt. I thought getting these copper washers for the top would be so they could, you know, bend a little easier, but this rubber on there and stuff, I don't think it's going to have to bend. They're going to have to bend at all. So I think it might have spent a little extra money that I didn't need to. But I'm too full down in there. Yeah, she's fighting me. There she goes. Perfect. Well, that's what I'll get them on there and then get them tightened up, and we're gonna call that a good one. Call it a good and tight. All right, there it is. Tank's made. Cap's installed. Tightened down. Can't really see in there real good. She's definitely gonna need washed out real good. We'll get her cleaned out. We're gonna start on the lid. Hopefully we can cut her out pretty easy. We gotta take this part off. See, I had that on there. So we have to get this off. And this is going to go on the inside there. 2-inch tri-clamp, bulkhead tri-clamp. And I'll probably, yeah, I don't know, it depends. I want the threads right here to be as close to that as possible. That's what I'm aiming for. So it's going to be something like that. So I may have to run a piece of this, some of this underneath of it. But we're gonna get that out of there somehow. I gotta. We'll have to. I'll probably just take Sawzall and whack that off. Then we'll unscrew that part and push it through. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut that off, and we're gonna have to make sure we cut a real nice hole, real straight one, because I mean we got a little bit of room to mess up with, but I don't really want to mess up that bad. So let me cut that. All right, there she is in all her glory. I didn't get to sit flush like I wanted to. It's going to take too much stuff to, I guess if I stuck it on the out here, but I mean, we're talking, we'd have to have a couple pieces of that, and I don't see no need in it. I'll probably put the handles back on this too, help keep it from leaking. I have a thermometer. That goes in there, and we'll put a copper washer. We're gonna cut a little rubber one on for the inside, put a copper washer, and we'll seal that up. So these were stainless at one time. This come out of a barbecue grill, but she'll still work. So that's what she's gonna be. That's where she was at before, so that's where we're gonna put her again. So we'll be good. We'll be good. Just like that. Get her like that, and we're gonna figure out what we can do to seal this up. Ain't real positive. We'll probably just put a bolt and a nut with the washer, rubber washers. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to cut one of these pieces to match the size of one of these washers, but we're going to do a smaller hole since that thing's smaller. So what I did to drill that hole in the center is I used this, but since I had that big hole, I set it over here, and then my hole's where I'm putting the thermostat, is that right? Yeah, thermostat. And then that other hole in there, I just drilled screws to it to hold it down, and then I just was able to use the wood to make a pilot to keep everything from wobbling around. So that's what we got. Let's turn you guys this way. I probably just made you guys real dizzy, didn't I? Where did the battery go? There's the battery. Ooh, that battery deep. This battery. Had to put the other battery on charger too, so let's see what we got for a little bit. Yeah, that's kind of big, ain't it? This is what we'll use though. We'll drill the hole and then we'll see how it fits. Yeah, pretty small hole. I think it'll work. Yeah, she's perfect. She's perfect. Find a. Where's that from? Hey, that chubby. She's running out of ink. Let's see, what did we do with the scissors now? There they are. There we are. So I can kind of see where I did the whole thing with the, whatever you want to call it, marker, Sharpie. And there ain't nothing wrong with it being a little bit big. So we just don't want it too small. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's see what we got. We just put there. Okay. I'm using these to make up for the space of that thing right there. It's a bolt head. That's how you would tighten it, but you know what? That thing would actually fit in there, but I'm still gonna do it this way. So put that on there. We'll screw this red stuff on there. Got it about there. Copper washer. Now I set the nut and bolt down somewhere for this. And where did I just set it? I stick it in my pocket. Stuck it somewhere. There she is. Then we're going to have to eliminate that one washer, I think. Yeah, we're going to have to eliminate this one. Let's see what size that thing is. It's a 14. 14 or 15. That's the 15. It's 9/16 or 14. We'll tighten her down with a 15. Oh, that's in there. I got it kind of facing so we can see the thing. All right, let's see. That was the thing to let off to lock the handle so it won't open. Let's see. I just had that Phillips. I was looking for his flathead and I couldn't find one. So. This goes off the side here. I figured we go ahead and put these back on and help our chances of it not leaking through them. Now the other one, where did it go? There she is. And see, here's the lock to keep it from opening. And get rid of that. We're gonna have to drill out a little bigger. So for what we decide we're gonna put in there. I think that will screw out. Of course, I don't have anything that's going to remove it. Ow, that hurt. That was easy enough. Really easy enough. And I think we'll just, no good. Definitely no good. Well, where's she, yeah, she'll fit that way. Let's see, I gotta find, I need a bigger bolt for it. Bigger bolts. I had a couple more washers. I think where'd that last, oh yeah, I still have one big washer that we can seal it up from the inside. Nope, she won't fit. I'm out of copper washers. I do have them. I wonder how. Pretty sure I got some. Let's see how these little scissors do about cut. Ooh, yeah, it cuts it perfectly. Wow. Can't believe that one. She's warm up in here. So we need to drill small holes here. So we drilled us a couple holes, and we're gonna make them a little big here. Let's make sure we got plenty of room. Okay, so we're gonna need to trim a little bit off that. Trim a little bit off of this. Trim a little bit here. A little more here. Boom. Not bad for an eyeball. And then this will. Yeah, probably need that just a little too. And we'll just drill a hole through that again. Alright. That's done. Alright, so we got that and that. Go ahead and, was it that one? Yeah, this one. That there's kind of a slight shoulder on that thing there, and on that bolt. See the little shoulder right here? So that's what that's catching on right now. Come up off there. What the hell? Okay. See one right there. Put you right there. Putting a lock washer on this because I am out of any more stainless washers. Look, there's 14 right there. We'll call that sealed up. May have to cut that though. Hopefully she fits in there like she's supposed to. Perfect. Now let's just see if this fits on there like it should. It should. You'll never see this part. And we'll run with her. We'll run with it. And now you can see, boom, thermostat, and that seal bolt. Made it tight. Made it tight. Something like that seems to be rubbing. And it's probably I don't see no marks over here, like witness marks of it scratching it. It's probably just this right here. That's what it looks like. Let's find the gasket for it. What are we doing? There it is. Find the gasket for the old lid. We're gonna order a new one of them too when it comes time to clean this thing all out and see what she does. Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, she's rubbing over here. I think it's because of that bolt in there is pushing. Yeah, it is pushing it up a little bit. We've got to get it a little tighter over here on this thing too. I need to get a pair of channel locks, tighten that up some. Shouldn't be spinning that. Might end up cutting it on some aluminum down there. That's, I ain't sure is tight or not. But she's done. There we go. She is done. Got 3% left on this battery. Let me change it real quick and we'll talk about the rest of the build of it that we got to do. But this part's done. I got the battery changed. So the been through some struggles with this one, trying to weld it. You can see this stuff here don't look that great, but I checked out reviews on YouTube about it, how strong it sticks to the other metal, but we did weld it with the regular MIG welder. I think the problem with that was we didn't have 100% argon. We had argon and CO2. Was it argon? I think I was supposed to use 100% argon. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. I can't remember. But what we're going to do, we're going to end up changing this coupler out, probably. We'll change this out so it fits 2-inch to, I don't know, I want to say 1.5 inch, and run our 1.5 inch all the way over and use the big keg for the thumper for this. I still have, I have the condenser over here. I'm sure you guys, if you guys watched the other videos, when I made the stainless one, we can pretty much run now, I don't have the missing the pipe, but this thing's ready to rock and roll. Let me set you guys down real quick. Of course, I'd have to get something to hold this up a little better, but something to brace this up a little better. But we could run that way right there, not a problem. Of course, we'd have to, this thing here is kind of bent down, but be faced like this, and run our water in the bottom, let it come out the top, and our stuff would be cooling down. But I have the thing for the thumper keg here still, because this is actually how it's actually built to go. I could run this in that big keg as it is. I wouldn't have to have the 3/4. I just have to get something, and then let me tighten this on there. And then I would just have the big keg right here. Set her up on something, and she'd be ready to rock and roll, pretty much. I can cook with it right now, because I don't have to be no bigger than this 1/2 inch, but I'd like to. It'd help it run a little smoother. So yeah, it's basically done, man. I'm gonna set it up. Is what I'm gonna do. Not give you guys, show you guys it set up. Alright, there she is in all over for her, I was going to say former glory, but she's in her current glory. So, pot, be our lid, basically. Come out, and go in there, and we got the big long copper piece in there. It goes in the bottom of the fluid. It'll bubble, blah, 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 blah. And then once it goes through the liquid down in here, it'll bubble, pop, come back up, and steam will come out, come down, and you'll have cold water going on the bottom. You want the cold water down here, so that, you know, cold will be going in, cold will be pushing up, and you'll have heat coming. So the heat and temperature change kind of meets, you know, casually meet. There we go. It'll come out, and then the hot, warm water will come out and go back into the recirculation tank, which is just a cooler full of ice water. So, and then you'll have whatever to catch your stuff. This won't be nowhere near that high. It will definitely have a drop down to it. You know, maybe even slope that down a little bit. It needs to be a little farther away from this too, but I built that for this to use as a steel, and this over here as the dump keg for our fuel, our racing fuel. So it just condenses our racing fuel down, and yeah, and that's her. So that's the end of this project. Is these. Hopefully next week we can we'll get a few customers in on working on some stuff. I got a guy was supposed to be coming from Champaign. I said I wasn't going to work on none of his stuff anymore. He messaged me back this morning and said he's sick, got a temperature of 102. So we'll give him one more chance, see what happens. And this, you know, at least he got a hold of me. He was supposed to be here at noon today, and I think it's 11:40. So he messaged me way before noon at the time he was supposed to be here. So, which works out great. I mean, you know, wasn't trying to give him the, you know, didn't want to try to blackball him before, you know, give him a chance. But, you know, with so many people's already kind of, hey, I want this, and they all ask me some questions, and then I kind of give them an answer, and then I don't hear back from them. It's like they went and fixed it themselves. So there ain't gonna be no more of so much as that. But supposed to have a '99 Timberline golf cart, a Kubota tractor coming in, and then I take that back, a 2009 Timberline golf cart. And the Kubota, they're coming from Champaign, which is 2 hours away. And then the guy here locally, it's another town over, he's bringing a '99 club car. It's got some fuel issues that it's surging. And then he says he's got one more after that that's electric. The one that's coming from Champaign, the '09, it's electric. So that'll be a diagnostics video, electrical diagnostics. The Kubota tractor, we're going to be doing basically a service to it, try to, you know, see if we can see anything that may be going to go wrong here, you know, within the year. Change his oil, hook him up real good. Hopefully that's if he shows up next weekend like he said he's going to try. We got to get this thing cleaned out eventually. I may just sell it the way it is and let them deal with it, and let them clean it all out. So, but I'm not using it. I just build these things and I sell them. You know, that's more about what I'm into doing. I mean, this kind of keg with that little thumper is $400 I can sell stuff for. But if I was to sell these on eBay, it's like $100 a piece, man. $150, $200 for just a condenser. I think I could just sit there and make these all day and turn around and sell them on eBay. But, you know, this one I would probably go with, you know, It's pretty, I mean, I don't want to say it's jankety, but it don't look as pretty as this stainless. But if I went and sanded it, you know, like Scotch-Brighted it all up and made it all look real shiny, I could get, you know, $400-500 out of it maybe. Just depends. Depends on who the sucker is, you know, who really wants to make the moonshine. But these will be up for sale eventually. I'll be putting them on Marketplace, and we'll be getting out of this business. If I can get the golf cart business up and going, that's kind of what I'm trying to do. You know, the town I live in now, where it's legal to ride golf carts on the road. It's legal to ride side-by-sides on the road. And if I can get into, because nobody else in town works on golf carts. Nobody around works on the electric golf carts in town for sure. Now we have 2 small engine shops here in town, but they don't do no customizing work on golf carts, and I don't think they do any of the small engine. I don't think they work on the gas golf carts at all either. I think they're just strictly riding lawnmowers, stuff like that. So hopefully here in the near future we can get my name out there decent enough where I can actually turn it into a business, and of course, you know, get a shop, a decent shop, get out of this and actually have something that's got some bays. But that'll be down the road. I mean, you know, I'm financing my whole endeavors in here. You know, it's the stuff I want to do. I don't, you know, it's what I like to do. This is just hobbies of mine, and yeah, my bank account ain't as fat as it could be because of my projects, but some of my projects, I went out and spent $80 on getting gas and stuff just to try to weld this tank. That's stupid. I should have never even did this. But I've had them two stock pots for over, I will say 4 years, and been wanting to do that, been wanting to build that. So, you know, we still got to water test it, pressure test it, whatever. I could just, you know, build me a little thing here and put me a air valve in there, air chuck, or, yeah, that's, I got it right over here. I can put this in there and, you know, put a copper, air valve for a tire, valve stem, there we go. And I can just, they've got these, they're metal, they screw on. I can drill a hole, stick this through. I can just cap, get me a union with a little 1/2-inch thing and solder a cap on there and drill a hole in there and put that air valve stem through there. Be able to fill this up with there and see if there's any leaks, and go from there. But I don't know. I may not. I may not do it at all. And if I do, if I don't, I'll tell people to use paste. So that's the end of this week's video. I didn't get nothing out last weekend, obviously, because of the hardware store not having nothing. That little heater there, sure is pretty cool. We're gonna shut this down now. So I'm outie. Baby Tape's in there. We'll go in there and spend some time with her. I'm sure she's probably doing whatever. She don't really never spend no time with me. She's off doing her own thing. But you know, I'd like being there in case she needs something. You know. So y'all have a good one. We'll see you on the next time around. What it will be, I don't know. I would like to get me a truck project, but that will be some other time. Lights are off. I'm going in.